At some point you will naturally learn to rage bait people. One of the niche but rather hilarious rage bait tactics to observe is to make two propositions, one way more baity than other, and after the audience takes the bait you say, "Glad to hear no objections to the first proposition." And now I'm going to expand on this with two new sets of crutches delivered to us within just this summer, such short time all things considered. The first one would be N-Corp Sun, because obviously it's a secret subliminal message about how Herman Squad is disabled and we should have dealt with them in Canto 1, like it has been expected of us. We take an existing status effect from an existing ego, tone memory, and reuse it for an identity which so far is elegant, but then this thing gets added to the list. Why does this exist? It's not written on the turn memory itself that it expires at the end of the turn. The expiration is done by the ego skills at the very end of its text, both for awakening and corrosion variants. What would be the reason for this ability's existence? It's not like an identity needs future proofing because the ego for the respective sinner already exists, so what gives? As such, I must assume incompetence on Project Moon's development team's side. It's not even that far-fetched. So the ability exists because without disclosure, tone memory actually does expire at the end of turn. Now why would that be and why would that be needed? Incompetence whispers to me it's because the after attack clauses on the ego either don't work or work inconsistently, sometimes allowing tone memory to be preserved after the sinner is done with the ego. With that in mind, does it actually matter in the current state? Turn memory still gets removed at turn end, but doesn't get removed if we're talking about N-Corp Sons. The behavior is the same, it should be fine, right? Well, it's wrong, because there is an unlikely event where unexpected behavior would differ from the actual one. To help me with that, I have invited everyone's favorite abnormality, Blubbering Toad, nicknamed Glupo for being cute and silly. On the off chance you like to solo, aren't willing to spend twice the enkephalin modules for only a thread and a half, you know that Glupo doesn't hit particularly hard, but a single sinner will get immediately corroded after a single turn against it. And even though it's not optimal, let's bring Felt Bullet so we can try and corrode into it. Now, as luck would have it, you have two corrosion ego skills ready to be fired. But wait! What would be values of tone memory when using each of them? For the first one it would be 3 since it's a resonance with a length of 2 plus 1 from the formula, but what about the second one? It would appear that if the after attack clause decides to malfunction at this exact moment, the second attack with corroded Felt Bullet would have 6 tone memory at its disposal instead of expected 3, leading to a stronger attack that has been expected. Same with the other ego, except numbers are different. And this is how you discover real potential. Potential of bugging the hell out of the game, that is. As much as we can simply keep this funny tidbit in mind and move on, believe it or not, I want my game to be the best it can be, including reduction of overall proneness to bugs, and for that something must be done. Option A includes embracing the theory, removing after attack clauses from both Felt Bullet egos and adding a note to tone memory that yes, it does expire at the end of turn under normal circumstances. Option B would be to deal with unwanted interaction like a bug. Rewrite and retest the after attack clauses, remove tone memory's disappearance at the end of turn, and then do a cleanup of N-Corp Sound, removing a passive ability which at this point does even less than one ability on the Ring identities. Interaction I have described before will be lost, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. But we're playing Limbus Company, not Inscription, so even when sacrifices must be made, they wouldn't be. And the best example I can give you is a second crippled individual to examine. Yes, not only does this season highlight identity lack perception of depth, but also the ability to properly use both of his legs. As early as the kit reveal, we have already been aware of future-proofing, that is Kung-Lu's ability to get an entire team of Heishos, as well as unique bonuses from each individual one. Forcing people to build a whole team from only Kung-Lu and his Heishos reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but that's the topic for another video. Now here, existence of individual bonuses didn't seem to clue anyone but myself on the fine print of the situation. That is, in order to continue to add said bonuses, Kung-Lu's kit would be already out for whom people have already paid sums of money or the equivalent of, will be continually changed for a period of time after release and first pulse. This is pretty much required for extra bonuses to work, and by being excited about this specific aspect, we have given our non-verbal consent to it. And I can argue it already happens because you have to update Konglu anyway to include animations from new joint attacks. Except not really. A positive post-sale change is still a post-sale change, and if people have negatively reacted to one post-sale change, you can kiss your chances goodbye to the other, even if it's different in nature. So instead of updating one status effect of Konglu, extra bonuses are delivered through passives of new Heishous Konglu is supposed to work with. For a moment I even thought it makes sense from a pro-gaming point. Unique effect of the buff is contingent on, and thus the responsibility of, a Heishou who joins Konglu in a joint attack, so he or she might be the source of a bonus anyway. But then uniformity to reduce number of ways gimmicks I implemented demands of pro gamers to make it one way, and if you can't change Konglu, you would have to change all Heishous who work with Konglu, including that one who you specifically didn't want to change. Please understand what I'm proposing here is neither a buff nor a nerf, it's an internal change to do the same thing to a T that already happens but better. Without it, current way of implementing Konglu's specific bonus looks like homework of two students, where one student solved half of it, got tired and offloaded their work to the other one, and the other one approached the rest so differently, it's obvious neither of them will complete the homework on their own. They might not even be capable of it. Do I sound like I care about the unseen guts of a video game I have happened to play enough to have my level be in triple digits too much? I want to reiterate another time that I don't want to steal money you don't have. I just want to help. Wonder if there is a symbol on the internet for that. Not sure if this is an exact fit, but I can work with it. Also, I'd argue the gods of Limbus Company are not even that unseen. Descriptions of skills in-game and even in kit reveals are so descriptive of what the skill is supposed to do, they might as well be written in a scripting language. Maybe this is something you ought to learn in the next 9 months. After all, this is the last day. The summer vacation is over.